You are likely familiar with the process of creating questions inside a Moodle quiz and managing their associated points, correct answers, or question types. Moodle has another method for making and managing questions that involves the question bank. Question banks allow us to do a lot of things like import publisher question bank content, organize a course's question library into categories based on question purpose, such as final exam or chapter 2 questions, neatly export question banks to files that can be saved or shared, reuse questions across quizzes, and randomize questions during quiz attempts. If you want to set up a question bank for your course, we strongly recommend that you reach out to the Office of Online and Distance Learning to ensure that they are being imported and managed correctly for future use. Mishandled question banks can lead to some serious problems within a course shell. With that being said, this video assumes that you already have a question bank built, and it will demonstrate how to add questions to a quiz using that bank. Starting in a quiz that needs questions, we will look at 2 ways to add questions from the course's question bank. The first method is useful if you want to reuse or handpick specific questions from your question bank categories. I have a midterm review practice quiz here where I want students to be asked about topics that they struggled with, or I want them to retry some questions that many got wrong previously. Click Add Question at the top, and when the page reloads, click Add in the bottom right. Select From a Question Bank, and this window will open that prompts you to pick the bank category being used. Choose the category from the drop-down, then select Apply Filters. The list will reload to show all of the questions in that category. Select the ones you want to use and click Add Selected Questions to the quiz. You can double-check the ones that you selected after they have populated here and delete any if needed. Another method for adding questions to a quiz is useful for building a midterm or final exam because the quiz will pull random questions from the categories of your choice. This randomization makes the test unique to each student. Since I finished picking the specific questions I want students to be asked, I could add some random questions to this quiz to get more of an overall feeling for how ready they are for the midterm. To do this, click Add, then Add a Random Question. This familiar box will open again. Click on the drop-down menu and choose the category needed. Then, at the bottom of this box, I will choose the number of random questions to be pulled from this category. Once added, the random questions will populate here. With this review, I could do something like populate it with 3 questions from each category in the course. Question banks can be extremely helpful, but they also need to be managed and handled with care. Here are a couple of rules or details about how they work to help you consider if they're a good option for you. First, you cannot share cart a quiz that was made with the question bank without bringing the entire course's bank to the destination course. This means that if you share cart a quiz that contains just one question bank question, the entire course's bank will come along with it to the destination. If you plan to build a new quiz, then share cart it to other sections, do not use the question bank to build the quiz. Second, question banks are housed in the course that they are in, so any edits, deletions, or moving doesn't impact other courses where similar questions exist. You cannot edit a question in your course's bank and expect it to update in another course's bank. Those edits have to be done manually due to the duplication that share carting issues can cause. Third, the names of question bank categories do not update upon import. Your course question bank may have some oddly named categories referring to other courses or what seems like a duplicated category, but this isn't the case. There's a variety of reasons why this would happen, but know that their naming scheme can be changed to whatever you want because course level banks are unattached to one another. Finally, if you seem to have lost questions that you created while working on a quiz, contact our office for assistance before assuming it cannot be recovered. The question bank is not necessarily a repository of all of the questions in the course, so you might be able to locate it and get it to where it needs to be. This video has covered a lot of ground, so if you have any questions or concerns about question banks, or if you want help setting them up to ensure that they're done correctly, please contact the Office of Online and Distance Learning via the Help Desk. Thank you.